Let's talk about China just quickly. This press club, have a look at this, James and Rita, and let's discuss whether Jim Morrow is correct that the ambassador should be banned in future. Have a listen to this.
Ambassador, thank you. Your colleague, the Chinese ambassador to France, told French media recently that when China takes over Taiwan, it will re-educate its 23 million people. Can you confirm with a yes or no, is that Chinese government policy? Will China re-educate Taiwan's people to change their minds about the Chinese Communist Party?
My personal understanding is that once Taiwan is reunited, coming back to the motherland, there might be a process for the people in Taiwan to have a correct understanding of China.
Correct understanding.
Rita.
Well, is that the sort of, education campaign that the Uyghurs are currently experiencing in their concentration camps, where you get the correct understanding of the Chinese Communist Party or you spend your life in chains? I mean, really, this is... I like seeing that. I tell you why I like this character being given a platform, because it just shows you the ugly, ugly face of this regime, how unapologetic they are about what they're doing and what they plan to do. They've got long-term plans,
Yes.
not just for Taiwan, but for the world.
James?
Well, yeah, exactly right. I think that Ambassador Zhao Quan did a huge favour for Australia. He stood up in a forum, the National Press Club, and he put himself out there for the press gallery to question him, and he did us a great favour, because now we can have no more illusions about what the nature of the current Chinese regime under Xi Jinping is all about. So we know not only, they are going to take Taiwan one way or the other, and he also used the words, use your imagination, when asked about that. We know that there's a re-education camp for 23 million Taiwanese coming in the future for them. But we also know that they are now an incredibly thin-skinned regime. They want Australia to do a whole bunch of things, such as have the media stop criticizing China, let companies like Huawei come in and build our 5G network, and all of these other things that they want to essentially destroy Australian sovereignty. They don't want to occupy Australia. They just want us to be a completely compliant state where no one is allowed to criticize China, and then we can all get along and be happy. So that's what he said.
That what's happening? Because I keep hearing Penny Wong talk about lowering the temperature, and I'm wondering whether we are going to emulate New Zealand's strategy here. Is basically do not offend the Chinese Communist Party. Do not say or do anything that they could antagonise them.
Well,
and
it's
have them
interesting
become
you say
hostile.
that about New Zealand, because New Zealand has actually finally now started to get a little bit tougher of a backbone on China. I suspect that's because Jacinda Ardern has got an election coming up, which she is going to lose, and lose handily, because finally everybody across the ditch has seen through that whole nicey-nice routine that's just, full of, lefty-lunacy and incompetence. But, it is a little bit of a concern. I've been, more pleased with how the government has done with China than I was worried at the start. But I also have to say, I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect for Senator Jim Morrow. I think he should have been made defense minister under the Morrison government. But I think it was wrong to say that we shouldn't let people from the CCP speak at the press club. We should, because we should hear exactly what they've got to say.
Jim Morrow's got a great book out, and it's all about the threat that China poses, and he's absolutely right to draw attention to that. It's shocking stuff. But the reality is we need to hear. This is the whole point of free speech. In a nation like ours, we want people to speak, because they always invariably end up exposing what they really think. And that character exposed, as Rita was saying, exactly the plans that China has for Taiwan.